Welcome to the Skills First Beginner Workshops for Developing Your Enterprising Skills. I'm Kathleen Webb, the founder and president of Skill Squirrel, and it's my great pleasure for Skill Squirrel to host this series for Biz Coach Services. Today is our first session on life planning and vision boards. It's never too late to plan your life and dream about what's possible. In this workshop, you'll be guided through a process of visioning your dreams and potential by starting with simple ideas to work towards your goals. Many successful people and top athletes take these steps to tell their stories and plan their futures. Our presenter from Biz Coach Services is Vern Vautour. Vern has more than 35 years of experience providing small business coaching, training, and consulting. His many accomplishments include presenting small business, life, and career planning workshops for the cities of Toronto, Mississauga, and St. Catharines, various colleges and universities, and many nonprofits and Indigenous organizations. He is also adjudicated in providing training for small business pitch competitions, and he has held senior operation and marketing management positions with major franchises. Plus, Vern won a major national award in best practice in youth entrepreneurship training in Canada. Over to you, Vern.
Thank you, Kathleen, and hello to everyone. Today we're going to talk about vision boards and why they're important. So basically, it's never too late to plan your life and dream about what is possible. In this workshop, you'll be guided through a process of visioning your dreams and your potential, and we'll start with simple ideas to work towards your goal. So some of the topics today are what's your vision, what is a vision board, your summary milestones and life goals, getting started, laying out your story, and the grand finale. So what is a vision board? So we'll get into a couple of definitions, examples, and benefits. So basically, a vision board can be seen as a dream board or an action board. In fact, according to Wikipedia, there are collages of images, pictures, affirmations, sayings, and motivational things of one's dreams and desires. So think of a vision board as a visual plan for seeing the bigger picture of steps and moves that you'd like to work towards and or achieve. They can be collages made from paper, magazines, cardboard, snippets of photos, symbols, quotes, slogans, and it can be on a bulletin board. It can be really anywhere, really. So vision boards can be used for mind mapping, for work, personal development, different industries, planning life plan, events, career planning, business planning, projects, travel, bucket lists, and more. There's some huge benefits to having vision boards. In fact, many pro athletes actually do vision boarding. There's a lot of different groups and corporations that do vision boarding. They're done for different reasons, but at the end of the day, it's all about expressing where you'd like to go, what you'd like to do, and how you'd like to do it. So the steps in developing a vision board are clarifying your vision, collecting images and symbols, arranging your images, and then making it visible. In other words, posting it somewhere and making it visible for inspiration. So some of the things that go into a vision board are well, what we can do. There's different ways of doing it, but in the workshops that I've been doing for at least 15 years, I really cover off, or I take a holistic approach to vision boarding. I take a look at, let's look at your whole life and plan everything out on these different levels by different paths. So what are your personal visual dreams in your life at the following levels? So we should look at our career and education, potentially the training or advancement or skills development that we might want to look for in the future. We're looking at financial and material goals, whether it's net worth, investments, or assets that you own. A lot of people will put in pictures of cars, cottages, homes, like the material things that they potentially like or would like to have, or maybe financial goals as well. Under family and friends, we might put in pictures of our own family, or we could visualize and get photos from the internet that represent families and friends. And then under public and social life, we have community activities, charity work, maybe some service clubs, potentially events, volunteer events that we might get involved in. And then our inner and spiritual self would include our health, our emotions, spirituality, religion, things that we connect with in terms of our inner self. And of course, you might want to also highlight hobbies, interests, leisure events. So you might pick certain, for example, you might pick a certain sport or activity that you like, maybe a hobby you have, gardening, maybe you like dancing, things like that. So you're going to pick out topics that represent where you'd like to go and what you'd like to do. So what we actually should do is figure out, well, where are we now and where would we like to be? If you know where you are now and what your ideal goal is, what you'd like to be, these are the things that we usually do the visuals or the drawings, the motivations, the pictures, things like that that represent where we'd like to be in the future. So if we're doing a gap analysis, what we do is we look at where are we now, where would we like to be, what's missing, and how you're going to get there. So some of the steps over time, you might also highlight in picture format. So this is just a representation of potentially what you might want to do for each one of those categories or life stages, and you might want to base some photographs on those premises. Another thing that you might want to consider is a bucket list. Bucket lists are really cool because what you want to do is before you die, what would you like to do? So make a list. Some people have lists of hundreds of things. Some might have 3, 5, 10, 20, whatever. So maybe what you want to do is do a bucket list of all those things that you'd like to do before you die, and then maybe knock them off over time. So bucket list items are things that can show up on your vision board as well. So here's how we get started. Firstly, we need to do a layout. So I'll just show you some images. One moment. Oh, here we go. And so we can have we can do different layouts, and as you can see on this page, there's various layouts, and you can decide how you want to present, whether it be posters, journaling books, scrapbooks, photos, computer files, screensavers, mouse pads, book covers, photos, anything that you feel might be helpful or useful to you. So really, the sky's the limit. So I'm just going to go online just for a sec. And I'm going to be sharing some resources with you. So here's some examples of vision boards. And as you can see, they're huge collages of pictures. Some are simple layouts. Some are complex, but years ago, before internet was popular, you could just get a bunch of scraps and throw them together and pull them out of a magazine. And as you can see here, you just clip pictures and anything that represented what you wanted to do, you just lay them down on a poster. So there's, I actually have a link to different vision boards so you can get ideas. And as you can see, there's different layouts. Some, like I said, some are simple, some are photographic, some are made by hand. It's really up to you to how you'd like to present and save your memories and project your memories. So what's interesting is that when you go to these links, or if you go to Google and you, like this is an example, examples of vision boards, you'll also see a row of items on the top. So things that may be a vision board for high school, maybe an inspirational vision board, life, dreams, career, templates. So there's different ones that you can actually select. So you can decide just going to career here. And so again, you can see that it's really a melee, a collage, a collection of many, many photos and pictures. I like to keep them simple too. Well, it depends. It's going to come down to your style and what you like to do. Like this one here on the right, very structured and lots of white space. I like lots of white space myself, but that's a personal preference. But at the end of the day, like you just have to take clippings that really, exemplify what you want to do in life. So there's a vision board as a senior. I don't know why. Oh, in high school. Sorry about that. Okay, and then how to make vision boards. There's Jack Canfield's motivational speaker. He actually has an article that I'm sharing with you. I'll share with you as a at the end of the presentation. But he's got some really good tips here. 21 ways to make your vision board more powerful. There's lots of instructions, lots of let's say links and sources of really good information. So there's a bucket list. If we have a bucket list, there's some really good photos. I'm going to share this link with you, but so maybe there's some bigger things in your life you'd like to see the Northern Lights. So just punch in Google Northern Lights. You get all kinds of images. You can copy and paste them and put them into your vision board. Maybe you'd like to go to Chichen Itza. I think that's what that is. I've been to Mexico a couple times. Maybe out Machu Picchu in South America. It's an Incan site. Maybe the Eiffel Tower. I was there in 2012. See the pyramids of Egypt. So maybe these are dream things that you like to achieve. So these are good bucket list things, but they're also good destination things. There's all kinds of pictures you can pick from. There's an example of the Wall of China, the ruins of Pompeii in Italy, Easter Island, the Taj Mahal, Grand Canyon. We're hoping to go. These are places that I'm planning to go to. Actually, we almost went last year, 2 years ago, but with COVID, we canceled. Switzerland is someplace we're planning to go to. I don't have a desire to go to Yellowstone, but there's some great places to go to. Been there, done that. Italy, I'd love to go to Venice, of course. So there's some dream things that we want to accomplish in our life, right? So that's just an example. There's all kinds of images, but if you want a specific image, you can really just punch in what you'd like type into Google what you'd like. You come up with images, you copy them, you paste them, you can move them around on a page, and you can see how the collages are set up. So as I spoke about the different areas of our life, here's some examples of career and education. So we want to pull some visuals or some photos of career, things that represent or reflect what we'd like to do. So you can see that there's all kinds of things. We can ask for motivational sayings as well, or we can ask for logos or words, anything like that. Under here, we've got financial and material things. So, for example, like I'm in financial, but let's say we want a material thing like material images, and let's say we'd like to have an image of a cottage. We want a cottage, and be really specific. Cottage on a lake. All right, so cottage on a lake, and we can get all kinds of images of a cottage on a lake. Maybe we want a house in the mountains, right? So just type in house in the mountains. If you can dream it, you can get the imaging on there, and then you can get that into your vision board. House in the mountains. There you go. Right? There's a whole bunch of houses on the mountains. Maybe you want a condominium somewhere, or house in the mountains in house in the middle of nowhere. So if you can imagine it, you can find images for it. Look at that, amazing images. And all we need to do is just right click on an image, copy it. Now, I'm going to tell you that there are potentially copyright issues, but if you're just doing it for your own personal vision board, it's normally not an issue. It's personalized. It's not going out. You're not reselling it. You're not promoting it to anyone. That's why I'm very careful to not copy and paste and actually, share something with you directly, because I don't want to involve myself in a copyright dispute or what have you. But I am showing you the images, and I'm showing you where to get them. So as you can see, I got a house in the middle of nowhere. And now I can go New Mexico, tiny house. You can have tiny houses, abandoned houses in the forest, anything that you can visualize, you can call up on Google and get photos on them. Then I've got another section like for family and friends. So you've got a number of different things. You've got logos, like that's what I call a logo, friends and family. You've got pictures of people. You can put your own family images in. Then you can also do like clips of things that represent people. And then for social life, potentially you might want some pictures for social life, so you can see that there's all kinds of different visuals on that. And then we have our inner and spiritual self. So whatever you want to call up, there's all kinds of spiritual quotes, inspirational quotes, motivational quotes. So we might want to include that in our vision boards. We can actually look at some of these inspirational quotes, something that we relate to, or even images, that have names and words that represent, our spiritual or our well-beings, and then potentially hobbies and interests. So if you have a specific hobby, you can actually pick that. So instead of hobbies, interests, and leisure, maybe I like to golf. When I retire, or even now, maybe I golf a lot. To be honest, I don't golf, but I'm just typing in golf, got all kinds of pictures, right? Maybe for material, going back to material things, maybe I want a sports car, right? I can get all kinds of images on what I want. So again, I can take these images and they can represent something in my life. So again, when we're adding elements, what we want to do is want to have a nice collage of different images, symbols, definitely milestones, slogans, and we can do them all in different sizes. We can overlap them. And so at the end of this presentation, I'll give you this list of what I used on Google. And so you'll have some sources to actually get some motivational. So if I just go to vision boards and I go to tips and examples, I've already shown you this one page. What I've done is I've typed in examples of examples of vision boards in Google. So there's all kinds of examples. And just to finish up, I would like to mention about some tips about making vision boards. So these are potentially tips that that you might be interested in, and you want to make it inspirational. Do it for you. Make it yours. I know I went to the end of the list here, but make good use of white space, layout, symbols, photos, words, and make it realistic. I mean, you can put your wildest dreams for sure, but have some things that are using your SMART goals. SMART meaning specific, measurable, achievable, and timely, and make it yours and have fun. Have fun doing your vision boards and put it somewhere. A lot of athletes and business people will put their vision boards either in the open, in their room, in their personal bathroom, in a closet, wherever. And they want to be reminded every day of what the direction is and where they're going. So thank you. So if you have any questions, you can direct them to specifically to the chat, and we'll take some questions for a few minutes. Thank you.